Hi everyone, Leanne from Cake and Eat It 3. Welcome back. This week we're talking about international road trip apps and maps. So as you know, we have a camper van in Europe. We bought it in 2017. We did a 3.5 month trip the first time. We did a 5-month trip last year. We have visited Europe a number of times before, but this time having the vehicle and road tripping, it's a whole different new experience. So for those of you who are road tripping, this one's for you. So, okay, we are big lovers of wild camping or free camping. Look, not only does it let your dollar go further, but by staying out of the touristy hubs and CBD centres, you actually experience a lot more genuine local feel, and it's just a little bit more relaxed pace, and it's just everything we're about, getting into those hard to reach places. And because we generally look for educational opportunities for Miss B, they're generally not smack bang in the guts. So look, we do have a focus on wild camping, free camping. So if you want any information about our 2017 trip, if you want any information about our 2018 trip where we took in Scandinavia, the Baltics, Scotland, Wales, England, look, check it out on the blog, www.cakeandeatit3.com. But there's a post also on the blog which has all of these links in it. So, okay, the very first thing, look, call us old-fashioned, call us whatever you like. We like a real map. So we ordered it over there but got it sent to Australia because we wanted to really start mapping our route and looking at it in more depth before actually arriving in England to pick up Betsy the camper van and then heading over to Europe. So we bought the AA Road Atlas Europe book, and that's been absolutely fabulous. A really good investment. Again, all the links are on our blog for what we used and which one to get. Basically, by having it in an actual book, a little bit like when we're in Australia with Camps Australia Wide, it's just having that conversational piece as well. When you hook up with other travellers and they're talking about the route they took or which direction they're going, it's really nice to actually have a map to talk about and just point out where a good spot was. We keep a lot of our locations, we certainly kept all of last year's road trip and GPS locations. They're all displayed on the blog as well. So it's just really handy for looking back over it and having it as a reference tool. We love it. Definitely best investment, and so cheap, so really good. Okay, first app, we're looking at Camper Contact. So there's 3 accommodation apps, and by accommodation apps I mean where we're going to find a campsite, an air, a sosta, whichever country you're in, they've all got different names for them, but on the general, okay, we're talking wild camping or a campsite or a caravan park. So Camper Contact is probably the very first one we started with. It's easy to use, we love it, so it's a must-have in our opinion of the top apps to go road tripping in Europe or the UK with. Okay, number 2, Park for Night. So Park for Night again, same as Camper Contact, user-based app, reviews, photos, all the services of all the campsites that you're going to visit. Basically everything you need to know to choose if you want to stay there. Now the more reviews and photos that are put up, especially if they're current, help other campers. So do get on and support these apps because they make it easier for all the people after you as well. And even though data is precious to us when we're road tripping, we still really try and give back as well to these apps that help us out when we're on the road. And third and finally, as far as accommodation and wild camping and caravan parks go, is Search for Sites. Now Search for Sites is predominantly UK, and if you are travelling in the UK, it is the #1 must-have app for England, Scotland, Wales, you know, #1. So its website we found to be a lot better than its app. Now they're developing these things at a mile a minute, so as to whether that's still the case, we'll find out when we get back there in a couple of months. Basically Search for Sight's website we found to be definitely better than its app, but 100% number one if you're doing anything in the UK. Now, with actually Maps.me, which is our next app selection, we use this all over the world, so it really doesn't matter where you are. Maps.me is basically an offline maps database, but it's more than that. So I know there's Google Maps, and I know, but do you know what? This is just so fantastic. We have found whenever we've needed to update, they're not crazy update in data hungry. So really, with your Maps.me, you park your car, which we do when you're road tripping. You lock it up, you try and work out their parking system. You go off wandering, and then you've got to find your way back to your car. And yeah, you may have never been in this town before. In fact, there's a pretty good chance that you may never have been in that town before. And so by having Maps.me, you pinpoint your vehicle before leaving, all offline, no data. Off you go wandering for hours, if the case may be. Hit return, go back, and it takes you all the way back, so that you can't possibly get lost. So I mean, it's fantastic. It's all upload all the maps before you go, and then they'll be ready for whichever country you've gone into. And we have used that, quite honestly, in every country we've gone to. Never had a problem, and no huge updates. I love it. Do it before you leave, and then fix it up, update it if you wish. In fact, when we don't have data, we just don't update it. It's as simple as that. Okay, moving on, because we're trying to get this down to a really good length. Emergency, where are you? Now, it's a 112 app. There it is. And this basically will send your GPS coordinates of where you are to emergency services in the event you have an emergency. No surprise there, but look, let me tell you, you don't want to be trying to find out your GPS coordinates, which you can get off your Maps.me app, the one prior we spoke about, but you don't want to have to be doing that in an emergency. You may be trying to help somebody, and the last thing you want to be doing is trying to work out where exactly you are. Sometimes there's no street signs, sometimes you're in the middle of the bush. Even when we go prospecting, we've pinpointed where we are. You wouldn't know where, you're going to need exact coordinates in the event that you need emergency help. Now, a 112 app works all throughout Europe. It'll send the closest emergency service to you, and it will have provided them your GPS coordinates. So amazing, get on it. Most of these are free, so don't even think twice. All of these so far too are available in both Apple iTunes and Google Play. All of the links on the website. Now, translator app. So they're the must-haves, okay? As far as we're concerned, you have to have those. If you're road tripping, they're the ones you have to have. Now, it's like, okay, you can add any number of apps. Oh my God, there's so many, and everyone chooses to use different ones. But look, we recommend having the translator app. We've got a few different ones for different countries that we do end up spending a lot of time in, but they're just so handy. So download it before you go. The Google Translate app is really easy to understand, and better to have it and need it than not have it and need it. And not need it. Okay, Duolingo. We're learning language on the road because, hey, it's full-time travel. And Miss B, being the age she is handy for her to have another language, or if not, a couple. So, you know what, we're really, this year, we've actually stepped up our involvement in learning French. And we know little bits of lots of different languages, but we really are kicking up that notch and trying to learn a lot more, just so we can have that solid foundation. With that, you generally can pick up other ones a lot easier as well. So, Duolingo, we've found it's free and really, really good resource for learning new languages. There's a fun app, of course, countries been. So in other words, note down all the countries you've been and keep a register. Look, Brett's over 40, I'm in my 30s now, and B's just hit 30 countries. So you know what, as crazy as it seems that you'd be trying to keep track of all the countries you've been to, very quickly you do forget or lose track of them. So look, it's a fun, not a must-have by any stretch, but fun. And on that note, there's a good educational one for kids called Stacky Countries. Check that out. That's really good learning exercise as well as fun. So yeah, check that one. What Facebook groups should you join? Okay, over in Europe, United Kingdom, look, you're bound to know some of them already, but look, we recommend Motorhome Adventures, which also includes camper vans in that. So Motorhome Adventures, Nomads, a life of alternative travel, traveling in Europe, and self-built camper vans. We just love checking out people decking out of their rigs. You know, we've owned multiple camper vans, and we just love it, and hats off to some of the ingenious things that they actually do. And traveling and camping in Europe. So there you go, guys. Must have apps. Not every single app that's out there. Must have apps when road tripping in the UK or Europe. Follow us on Facebook, Insta, YouTube. You know, this year we're going to be putting out a lot more videos. So get in there, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and interact with us. Ask questions. Look, we've been doing this a very long time, and we're happy to answer questions and share the knowledge. So, yep, here's to another great road tripping adventure in Europe this year in 2019. Can't wait, and see you soon.